Hello, I'm Taj, digitally known as Tropic Vibes, the host of Nifty Business, where we highlight NFTs and explore Web 3.0 as we move from pure speculation to creating real-world value. Have you seen the merchandise for the Bored Apes Yacht Club? I'm sure you have if you spent any amount of time in this NFT space, whether it is on Twitter, YouTube, or anywhere, been to any of the conferences. I'm pretty sure you've seen those black t-shirts or hoodies or caps with the white logo of the Bored Apes Yacht Club, BAYC. It's pretty iconic within the space, and most people in the NFT community could pick it out from a crowd. But what if I told you that copying their merchandise strategy is a recipe for disaster? Well, today we're going to discuss why NFT projects should not, and I repeat, should not use the BAYC model for their merchandise. So let's step outside of Web3 for a minute. I want to talk about branding for a second, just going to the overall look of things, and I'm not even speaking specifically about NFTs. Are you familiar with the Jordan brand? If for some reason you are not, it is Michael Jordan's brand. And if you go to the website of Nike, you can see a Jordan branded t-shirt for $40. So I'd love to know what gives it its value. So some people will say that it is fine materials and it just handcrafted so much better than other ones and all that stuff. But truthfully, what gives Jordan brand that $40 value is the Jumpman logo on its chest. And if you're not familiar with the Jumpman logo, it is a basketball player, Michael Jordan himself, the silhouette of him flying through the air. That's where he gets his name, his earness, because he seemingly floated through the air, especially if you're someone that is from the older millennial generation. I like to say the Oregon Trail millennials, such as myself, 86 babies and up. You've seen Michael Jordan play. And when he used to play, it literally looked like he was defying gravity and floating through air. And when he dunked from the free throw line, that is where that silhouette comes from, as he is spread, floating through the air with the basketball heading towards the rim. Not to mention that he has 6 championships, scoring titles, MVPs, and is labeled the GOAT. I know younger players or younger people will say that LeBron is the GOAT, but pretty much everyone over the age of 30, maybe 35, would definitely say Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. So all of that is baked into that $40 price for a simple t-shirt with his logo on the chest. So what if I told you that we're just going to remove that logo? Truthfully, it probably cost about $3 or so to do the imprinting and the finish of everything. So what would be the value of that blank t-shirt? I doubt anyone would say it would go down to $37 because you're minusing that $3 of the printing and all of that stuff. And you would say that, yeah, the quality of it makes it a $37 t-shirt. No, truthfully, it doesn't matter how quality those t-shirts are. At scale, they're probably less than $10. And I have a background of printing t-shirts, having t-shirt companies, and running this stuff when I was back in college. So I know a lot about sourcing t-shirts, printing it, the process of doing that, especially at scale, and you can get it really cheap. So a lot of that is going into profit. So when it comes to the actual price tag of $40, once you actually look at the cost of what's going into it, really what people are paying for is that brand. All the story that comes in it is baked in. All that stuff I said about Michael Jordan, his legacy and everything, well, fast forwarding 30 years plus, it is cemented into culture worldwide as having value. And so many times I see people launching t-shirt brands and all they do is take a simple cotton t-shirt and put a brand on the chest. And right away, I know this is a failed proposition. Why is that? It's because nobody really cares about those brands. There is not that story, that legacy, that lore, all of those things that are baked into it. So just slapping someone's name on a chest, it makes no difference. So if I were supposed to take the exact material that were in those Jordan t-shirts and just put my name on it, guess what? It would sell for nowhere near that $40 value. Sure, I could do a whole bunch of marketing and maybe get some celebrities behind it and so forth, but right off the bat, what I'm talking about, just putting it out there on a website, I mean, it's not like every day you turn on the TV, you're seeing ads of Michael Jordan's t-shirts. No, the brand is just a part of culture. It is built in. And going back to this whole Web3 thing, same thing as BAYC. You're not seeing BAYC merchandise ads anywhere, and it is actually exclusive to the people that are in there. However, what I'm saying is people that have seen that and try to duplicate that and copy it for their NFT project, I think it is a recipe for disaster, just like those people that are just launching those t-shirt companies and calling themselves designers by just slapping a brand on something. And truthfully, those BAYC t-shirts, hoodies, hats, People are not buying that for the quality of the garments. Sure, there might be perfect quality, amazing stuff. I don't know. I've never felt one, never had the luxury of being blessed with one of those. However, what I want to say is I can definitely tell you nobody cares about the quality of the t-shirt more than they do that brand that is on the chest. And I know that is a broad statement, right? I'm saying nobody. That is broad brushing everyone. And if you don't believe me, again, take off that logo and see how well those t-shirts sell. There's only a handful of companies that I could possibly think of that they're probably generic, ordered from those companies. They swap out the labels and slap the brand on it. And I absolutely know from my experience in the industry that those things do not cost more than $10. Sure, the hoodies might be a little bit more, but generally speaking, the t-shirts and all those things, they're probably selling for about 4x what they actually cost to produce. So I'm not going to go out there and pick on any specific project, but the projects that I constantly see, they're launching their merch and all they're doing is slapping that project name on a background, and they expect this to be like some sort of utility for the community. And I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is not how you do it. And someone who knows about the t-shirt industry, as I said, that was like really my first quote unquote $1 million idea, launching that, dedicating probably about 3 years of my life into that business and knowing what actually sells brands, working with different labels and companies, even record labels that had their own clothing lines, and understanding how they're marketing this stuff, putting it together. It really has very little to do with the quality of the t-shirt itself. Don't get me wrong, you don't want absolute garbage t-shirts to be associated with your brand. However, just to give an example, American Apparel is one of the quote unquote premium brands of blank t-shirts, and you can go to American Apparel website and you can buy those for relatively inexpensive. However, once you slap a specific logo on it, once it is associated with a major brand, and these are brands that are all over the world, multi-million-dollar brands, billion-dollar brands, they get American Apparel t-shirts, change out the labels, slap their logo on it, and then they're selling it for $30, $40, $50, $60, $70. And all it is that same American Apparel blank t-shirt that if you sign up, have an account with them, you can get it for, as I said, at scale, about $10. So when NFT projects do that, I just know that the people that are going to buy this is going to be the team, family members, and maybe a select few of diehard fans, but no one else really outside of that. It doesn't have any real value. So when people put that on the roadmap, yes, you're going to have exclusive merchandise. Like, okay, great. Wow. Like, that is nothing special. For $20, you can have custom printed t-shirts with whatever you want on it from Amazon or wherever. You can have these imprinted, stitched for like $30. So having an NFT project, throw that onto the roadmap or release this thing and thinking that they're doing a service to the community, it is a myth. Like, it really has no value whatsoever. So any project that does have that and just think that they're going to put the logo on the shirt, I'm telling you, setting up for failure. So what I always used to say when I saw that my friends or whoever it was trying to launch a different brand as far as t-shirts or clothing, I would say, look at the brand name, whatever name that you want to call your company, whatever, and make that secondary. Put that on the back burner. Design something that is going to absolutely look ridiculous, because people are going to love it regardless of what brand is on there, and then put your brand on it. Build the clothing to be amazing without your name on it, and then attach the name to it. Because remember, these big brands, Jordan, Versace, Louis Vuitton, and all these companies, they have years and years of marketing or billions of dollars behind them. Yes, BAYC is the new kid on the block. However, as far as this NFT space goes, they're head and shoulders above everyone. Yuga Labs is a behemoth of a company. They have backing as far as financially. They have teams, celebrity influencers, you name it. There is a lot behind them. So copying them, as I said, is a recipe for disaster. So I would love to know, which projects do you see merch of that you actually like? Something that you would recommend to other people and you are proud of wearing it, and you're not just buying it because you are a family member or just want to support the team. Basically, it's like a charity play. No, you would literally see this and you absolutely want it. I would love to know. Please feel free to reach out to me at Tropic Vibes on Twitter. Share that merch with me. I'd love to know what it is. I'll definitely give you the credit, and maybe I'll highlight it on another episode or in a tweet or something of that nature. So I think that is a good place to just land the plane. Just want to give my input on what's going on in this whole merch game. And I know I've covered merch before. However, this is a trend that I'm seeing come up even more, and more projects are trying to get into the clothing game, the merch game, and they're not looking at the value of it, understanding what a brand actually is and how to design clothing, what makes clothing sell. And these things I would just like you to think about. If you are someone who is either getting ready to launch a t-shirt, use your IP to create a clothing line or anything of that nature, just know, unless you have all those things behind it, the story is baked in, you're going to have to create some amazing clothing. But as usual, I just want to thank you for taking time to listen to this as we're learning and building Web3 together. So until next time, later. The Nifty Business Arrow is not investment advice. It provides insights and information within the space. As with anything, please do your own research before making a decision whether you're making an investment or a purchase.